Hey folks, how's everybody doing? In this video, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over on how to make a just a bit more interesting percussion to accompany your beats. I use this in my workflow when it comes to when I perform live, and so I figured I'd show everybody kind of how I do it in the process. This is just a little window because I do spend a lot of time on percussion loops, and the idea for me there is just to mix and match, kind of make them like their own thing, not specific to a beat. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that with all of you, and I hope you enjoy it. And as always, we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got Soundcloud, we got Twitch. Twitch will be right here. I stream on Twitch every Monday and Thursday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, and it's mostly music right now. But I think coming soon there might be some Ableton sit down or some beat making or just a hangout chat and let's talk about music production. But yeah, but I hope you guys all enjoy the video. All right, let's go over. So what we have is just our default template with some stuff that I've already made just to save some time. So we have the one drum kit, which is like this drum kit that I've made, just has a lot of different drum samples and stuff like that in it. We have a simple 4 on the floor 808, and then we have this breakbeat kind of thing. That's kind of crappy, but whatever. And the idea is that we're going to take these as like our baseline parts, not bass lines, but our bass part of our drum, our whole percussion things in our drums, and we're gonna layer things on top of those. And so in this particular track right here, the hats, we have a drum rack of just hi-hats, right? It's just hi-hats. So right, and I think I have like what, 32 or maybe like 30 31 or whatever. But so we have that, and then we have our ghost effects chain, which is just see what's on here. We got a beat repeat amp, formant. Oh yeah, that's in its own kind of thing. Don't worry about that. Redux, the electro robot, which is I believe collision, auto pan, delay, and auto filter. And the order of these things matters, but we're gonna start with these, and I think these are just some like basic effects that can kind of get some of your percussional loops into a good spot, into like kind of a different spot. We're gonna do a whole lot more with that, but this is just kind of what this template is that I'm gonna show you is starting with. And then the bus basically just has a compressor that's a flattener, so it just boosts everything and squishes everything. And so then we have a gate to take out the ambient noise that bringing up all the levels is going to go through, and then a limiter just because we don't want stuff like just peaking and sounding crappy. And this is all going through the bus, and then the bus goes out to the master. A couple things when you're doing drums just in general, if you do not know this, is if you go into any of your samples, you're probably all familiar with this kind of mode right here. But what you want to do, in some cases, you have one shot, and a one shot just kind of plays it. It'll just trigger the loop and or the sample, and it'll just play through the whole thing. But with drums, a lot of times I find what we want is we actually want it to be gated, right? So now if we just we'll just make this a loop here, and if we play it, all right, and so it's because the gate's short, and if you know this, great, but some people don't. But with drums, it really does make a difference. Because you get kind of like, you get to kind of play with some dynamics of samples and stuff like that. So that's what we got going there. So make sure your samples of your drums and percussions are all in gated mode, unless you don't want to. Some people just want to trigger it no matter what. It always plays the same length. That's cool too. I usually do a mixture of both, but definitely if you don't do any kind of gating on your samples, not a gate to reduce like noise, a gate to control the actual sample length, I really encourage that you do that. Awesome. And so we have effects chain. So we have hi-hats. They're going to go through this effects chain, which are ghost clips, which are these should all be unlinked. See, we got to go linked. Let's make these all unlinked. Oh, you have to do individual ones. That sucks. All right, let's just make them all unlinked. And again, if you're curious about this Ghost Effects rack, there will be a video somewhere in the things, maybe here, maybe here, who knows, about how to set this up, and it goes more into detail. I'm gonna assume that you've already seen it, and if not, you can pause the video right now and go watch that other one. It goes into depth on how to create these, like what's actually going on. And yeah, so we're just gonna unlink all these. There's no audio, there's just a blank audio clip, so it kind of doesn't matter. It's just good practice to get into. So much fun clicking on things. Okay, no. All right, so we have the hi-hats going through our ghost effects, which will show and trigger, and they're all in follow actions on very small quantized intervals and stuff like that. And then we'll have in legato mode so they can jump between the effects. And then those are always going out to the bus, which I said, which has the flattener and the limiter and the gate. And yeah, and so that's what's going to get us started. Now we're going to do some more things later. We're going to we are going to duplicate the ghost effects chain and run each of the chains into each other. And you'll see why it does some cool things. It does some like layering of different effects, and through the follow actions, it'll make different patterns. Like the more chains you have, the more patterns it'll have, right? We'll see that. But yeah, let's see what we got here. Right, that's boring and terrible. And then we got our 808. Cool. And I just have this one, which is just a little hi-hat that I sequenced. It sounds like this. Yeah. So one of the things to think about when you actually pick the samples for your hi-hats or your percussions and drums in general, with this kind of thing, one of the things I like to do is don't pick things that are natural sounding. Don't pick all things, I should say, that are natural sounding. Some of the blips and the little hits that you might think would be like synths and stuff like that actually really make really cool percussional sounds, like this one, that little beep beep. Just why not? And that's just how it sounds right now. We haven't even done anything to it, so you'll see later on some of the stuff that can happen with those beeps as they run through effects. You know, it can create these nice little like textured rhythms, and they sound really good and keep your drums interesting and fun to listen to. And that's the goal of all this, is to have better beats, have beats that sound unique to your style and what you want to go for, and you know, not just, you know, samples and sequences, something that is on top, and stuff that you can mix and match with like anything. I mean, you can make it for one beat, but save the rack, like I say, and then, you know, don't be afraid to bust it out. Just bust it out and play with it, jam with it. You know, I sequence on a push, my mouse, and I also play the hi-hats on my keyboard, which my friend makes fun of me for, but that's okay. My thing, right? So let's just do this. Let's get this going, and just yeah, let's create another one. Here we go. I'm doing these right now as 2 bars, and you know, you can do them however you want. We're gonna chop these up anyways. This will actually probably get fast forwarded through, so nobody will ever see this. Okay. See, I'm already like writing bass lines in my head. I'm like bum, bum, bum. See, and now, sorry, I just get lost in this kind of stuff, but so we turn off record and just put a little effects. It already sounds cooler. So now comes some of the effects. Let's turn on the effects. Let's open this up, and we can see that we have our stuff going, right? Let's go back to the first one we made here. All right, and we're gonna turn on our ghost effects rack. So the audio from the stuff that we just made is gonna go into this effects rack, and there's follow actions and all that stuff. We have the follow actions going a little slow right now, so we can hear the effects, and we can make them go faster. All right, let's just see, because we're going to leave everything the same and we'll make some other things later. Let's just duplicate the chain. We're going to call this 2. Again, I like organization, so color. And then now, bus 1, this is going to go into Ghost Effects 2. And now we're going to set this one to fire. The blank ones have a higher probability, so here we go. Let's actually make these fire faster. Quantize 1. Okay. These out. All right. 8. Let's go to 8. I'll make it 16. And 1's pretty freaking fast. Okay. Alright, Ghost Effects. Make sure our stuff's going out. It is. Everything's looking good. Hats. The effects chain, audio to hats. Oh yeah, so this goes out. And then this goes out into bus 1. Okay. Alright, so now what we want to do is capture this kind of stuff. So you can do it in clip mode, or you can do it actually in arrangement mode. So here, let's just stop here. And we'll leave everything kind of going. And let's just record something here. We're going to record on the bus channel. That was cool. That was really cool. Okay, that was a really good one. That was a really... Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, that was actually a really good one. Okay. Oh, and also, so it records the MIDI and the other stuff too. So instead of just having it random, you can definitely alter all these and just, you know, mix and match as you're choosing. And that was something I was going to go over, but I just remembered it now. So there's that. But let's do this. Let's get this. I want to hear what this thing sounds like, because that actually sounds like a good take. All right. And this is all off. Let's just make sure. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that sounds freaking rad. Okay. Okay, but now see, we have these clean things and they have the effects on them. So now we can start shifting things, right? So let's just put where it finds all the transients. Yeah, that's some Transformer sounding shit right there. But yeah, let's start working with that. That's good. That's really good, dude. One of the many reasons why I use follow actions is because you can set them up in random ways, and what's nice about them is you can get like creative patterns and just kind of different stuff than maybe your normal thinking. You know, I use them a lot to just kind of think outside of my normal box. I have things that I go to and things that I do all the time that I listen to them back, and I'm like, man, there's that thing again. I try not to tell people, because then they'll hear it and they'll be like, hey, you keep doing that thing, and I'll be like, just stop. But yeah, with the follow actions though, they're kind of nice, and you can control the timing and stuff. And even if you decide to do clips of just hi-hats to kind of generate your original clip with some variation, another good things to do, like follow actions and just change the quantizing and also the size of the clip and how they fire. That can also achieve some really awesome results. So now we have our audio here. Let's play it back here and listen. All right, and at the end here we have our couple of, let's just say, glitchy hits. Okay, so let's actually do some warping here. We're gonna kind of focus on the end. Let's just copy this off and save it over here. Just do this, and then we're gonna consolidate or crop. Either one works. Okay, oh, hold on. And then get our warp markers back. What is this thing doing? Okay. Give that a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe just a little back on that one. Make the grid smaller. And at this point, what you could do is, let's just call this 1, and we can just drop it into our clips here. And now we have our first kind of loop. And at this point, you could take this audio clip and then run it back through your effects chain. So if we wanted to do that, let's just do an audio clip. All right, let's just drop this over in here. We'll call this OS drums like 5, or drum loop. Okay, so now we have our audio fed back into our ghost chains, and let's just start our chains again. And if we set this to record, or you can be in arrangement mode, you can create them again. And I haven't messed with like any kind of like hard returns or delays. That's something that I would do later on. I tend to like to have those as like the last effect in something, so that way you get the nice reverb tails and details. But you can add it anytime. It just, again, it depends on what you want to do. And yeah, let's just record one of these. All right, and we'll stop this. Right. And you can keep going through it. And so, I mean, these are okay. They're nothing like to write home about, but the idea is the more time you spend with these things, you know, just the more detail that you can get in. So let's go ahead and go through these other ones and just let's just finish. So we'll just do it kind of a 1-to-1 kind of thing here. So yeah, so let me just do that real quick. I'll spare you the details. So I have a second loop recorded going through the effects, and I kind of like some of the stuff if we listen to it. Okay, so yeah, we have some variation, but we're gonna do this. Let's do this. We're gonna split these, and we're gonna call these 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna put these in kind of different colors, so that way they're easy to see. It's another thing to kind of get some variation and some variety. Crop, 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 and this is gonna be another use of follow actions here. So what we're gonna do, let's put these in the drum loop track that we made. Put them down here. This right here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make them go into legato. We're gonna make this one this 0 because we want them to fire fast. Should have done that to all of them at the same time. Okay, so legato right here is gonna be 1, and we're gonna put it at let's do it at 8 right now, and let's hear what this sounds like, right? Because this is another way to do it. So we did our sequence through the effects, recorded in arrangement mode about, you know, some bars, and then we split those bars into 3 clips, and we're gonna have those clips now fire at random, and we're gonna go record those. So let's hear how this sounds. Oh, I didn't actually do the follow action. Okay, so let's do other. Let's do that 2 times, and then we'll throw another repeat just for some like glitchy stuff, since it's really fast here. So let's listen to this. Okay, so now we can delete these, and we have those, so you don't need to worry about those. But let's throw this back into record. But you got to be careful, because running this back in here is going through another flattener. But that's okay. That's okay. But if you want to, let's turn on the effects again. Let's just turn on the effects again. Alright. Okay, cool. And we'll do our stops. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is getting a little, little crazy. Okay, let's stop all these, and let's get our recording set up. So we have, yep, we're gonna record to our bus. Our bus has stuff on it, so it won't affect anything. Okay, so let's actually, here, we'll make this longer. Kind of, right, and let's record, and we'll start these. Start all these. And eventually what we're going to do is we're going to normalize this stuff. So if you have like crazy waveforms, don't worry about it. And you know, I'm gonna say right now I'm probably only gonna pick like one part to make a clip, but like you can easily do this and make like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 loops out of these things and stuff. So, you know, and there's lots of variations because of the follow actions of the ghost effects and the follow actions of the clips themselves firing. That's pretty crazy looking right there. Right? And, you know, just whatever. Okay, so again, let's go back and listen to it. I think kind of was crappy because I didn't start it in time, so this so it lines up. It sounds a little random and like just on beat, but that's where, you know, you can warp stuff and have stuff slightly off beat and have it sound like it, or you know, have it sound like it swings, or you can use the built-in swing for the MIDI effects back when you were writing the actual like percussion clip. This sounds pretty cool. So I'm gonna highlight some things that I think sound cool. See what happens if we just slam these together, right? And with a lot of this, it's all about experimentation, just to get the kind of right thing, or the thing that you're looking for, right? Do this now, and then we'll move it. And let's see how this sounds. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty busy. I normally would have these a little bit less busy, but let's consolidate that. Let's turn that into some audio again, or consolidated audio. So let's see where our transients are. Let's listen. Oh, let's loop this. So. Okay, yeah, I think that's good for that one. So that's just a way to actually use the follow actions when you have audio clips and you want the clips to jump in between each other to make up the composite that's going to go into the effects again and record and then slice those up and back. You can start to see you can do like a ton of stuff with these variations, but I think the key kind of cornerstone is using the randomization of the follow effects in this case to inspire us and be like, oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. That sounds interesting. Cool stuff. So now that we have all our loops, we have like a nice drum rack or sample rack or however you want to put it, components. Anyways, that have all these different kinds of sounds now. So if we just play it. All right. Add in a little break beat. And from here, what you can do now, like you can stop here, or you can start making patterns with these and recording these, or do follow actions on these. So, and again, I reemphasize the follow actions. I know you're probably thinking, man, this guy uses follow actions on everything. And I do, because it's so awesome. It's so much fun. But with this now, let's just do this. Let's 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now we have 3 of these things. And this is all just to make percussion loops. I mean, I'll be playing with this, but like you can just kind of see how you can start making these more texturized loops, these things that are interesting, that have dynamics, that have like bit crush, redux, downsample, whatever it's called. But yeah. And we can control the individual effects on these. So let's say I want this to have a bit of reverb, I want this to have a little bit of delay. So now we have a cascade of things that are going to happen. Let's do it. Okay. Try a dance beat. Let's try a dance beat. But yeah, you can start to see just things kind of shape up, and if I wanted to, I could record any of those, pick out the nicest parts, and then collapse that into its own sample, which is probably what I'll do. And that's how I basically make my drums, is just through this process of setting up a rack with hi-hats, percussion elements, and stuff like that, taking those, writing a sequence, and then from that sequence, writing a whole bunch of different sequences, but then from there, piping them in to a Ghost Effects track that has, like, you know, different effects, and those things all are on short legato follow actions with a probability of repeating less than going to something else. I duplicate that effects rack, and then it molds through multiple, and then from there it goes out and I record it, and then I do some warping, and then I can bring it back in and repeat all those steps. And then at the end, when I have all these little clips, I just play around. I just kind of jam out and just combine these things, and in like arrangement mode, right? Let's just go in here and we can just do this right here right now, like right. But also, this is where I would probably do more follow actions to find more patterns and stuff like that. Something that I didn't think of now. And then at these points, this is where actually when I start to find things that I like, I'll actually just, like, you know, move the actual parts around on in the actual arrangement mode on Ableton and stuff like that, right? But yeah, that's kind of how I achieve just what I think is more interesting sounding drums. It is, there's no quick process to doing this. It just takes time, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you can start, and these are all just stock effects, you know, and I barely did any reverbs. I didn't do any sends because those don't get captured. You have to do some other stuff to get those captured. You could run it through a bus chain and have the reverbs on that, and it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is just with stock effects. So you can imagine with things with like Valhalla, like plugins, or even, hell, I mean, you can even throw a stutter edit like from Isotope into this mix and then do that into your stuff. There's really just a lot of ways, and that's the whole point. And you know, it's a lot of fun to do. I love doing it. I have gotten compliments on my percussion, so I figured, what the heck, I'll show people kind of some of the process that I do. I actually usually do spend more time on this, and I'll just, like, you know, kind of, you know, make some here and there, and then bring them in. And on certain days when I have like some downtime, I'll just like bring them up, load them, and just make little patterns, and then, you know, save them as audio clips into temporary racks and stuff like that, and then tweak them and bring them in. When they finally feel done, I'll put them into a one-shot drum loops rack, and then just increase the numbers as the racks get full and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really awesome. I enjoy it. But again, thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and also subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll find out when new videos come out. We got, stream on Twitch on Mondays and Thursdays at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, roughly around, under the same nomenclature, same name, same dude, different platform. All right. And again, as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye. And I need to wash my face so I don't look like a greasy bucket of chicken. That's all I'm saying.